Hello everyone, I'm Nur Adisa and I'll be kicking off our presentation. Urban drains are one of the most overlooked yet critical points of water pollution. They collect not just floating trash but also heavy sludge, organic matter, oil and grease, most of which never reaches river cleanup system like the interceptor. That's why we developed Manta, an autonomous multi-layer waste separation system designed specifically for urban drains. Inspired by the efficiency of fish gills, it handles sinkers, floaters and liquids continuously, even during storms. Let's walk through the problem that we're solving, and then my teammate will explain how it works and why it matters.
So water waste is a growing issue in Malaysia, especially in the urban areas. So in 2024 alone, 933 million was spent on flood recovery, largely due to overwhelmed drainage systems in cities and industrial zones. So current solutions are limited. For instance, the interceptor only collects floating waste and cannot capture dissolved pollutants, or it is heavy debris like metal and sludge at the bottom. And at the same time, drain cleaning relies on manual labor, which is slow, risky during monsoon seasons, and it is ineffective for deep sludge removal. So this highlights the need for a safer, autonomous system that can operate continuously and handle all types of waste more efficiently.
Now let's talk about the current state of innovation and what is already out there. You might be familiar with the Interceptor. It's a solar-powered river cleanup solution that is already deployed right here in the Klang River. The Interceptor does a fantastic work. It uses a large floating barrier to funnel surface debris onto a conveyor belt for extraction. So basically, it tries to stop plastic before they reach the ocean. But the Interceptor has a major problem. It's designed specifically only for floating surface trash. This means it completely misses the heavy sinking waste like metal, glass, dense sludge, as well as the dissolved oils that is actually the main problem in our urban drains. So how is the Manta any different? How do we actually solve the problem that the Interceptor leaves behind? It comes down to 5 things. The first is location strategy. We deploy specifically into the urban monsoon drains, stopping the problem at the specific source. The second is target waste. We aren't just skimming plastics, we target like 80% of the heavy sludge and dissolved toxins that is in our system. The third is the debris handling. Our system actively pumps out waste, so we are able to handle waste that is like heavy and that would actually break the normal netting that you always have in these systems. The fourth is oil management. We incorporate specific chemical filtration to extract dissolved oils and grease. The fifth is flood resilience. By keeping the drains at 100% volume capacity, we are actively building flood resilience into our infrastructure rather than just constantly cleaning up after a flood or cleaning up after a blockage.
Now I'm going to explain on how our prototype is going to work, and it will be very short and sweet. Manta, it is an autonomous solution for urban drain. Unlike surface cleaner, our prototype uses biomimicry inspired by fish gills. As water enters the internal cavity, the floor compresses, forcing flow through multi-layer offset meshes. This segregates waste by density, heavy sludge and metal sink to the bottom, while plastics and microplastic are trapped in the fine mesh plates. Finally, we are using anti-jam logic. Basically, this anti-jam logic is ensured 24/7 operation during storm, turning trapped waste into a revenue stream of scrap metal and biodiesel feedstock.
So, why does the hydrometer matter? It comes down to 2 major impacts, economics and safety. First, clogged drains are a massive drain on capital. In 2004 alone, Malaysia spent 933 million ringgit Malaysia on flood recovery. The hydrometer fixes this by segregating waste, allowing us to turn waste into wealth. By recovering scrap metal at roughly 400 ringgit Malaysia per ton and saving waste oil for biodiesel feedstock, our disposal costs turn into a revenue stream. Second, current cleaning method rely on manual labor, which is inefficient, hazardous and dangerously exposed to monsoon risk. Plus, manual workers cannot reach the bottom sludge. We replace this danger with autonomous efficiency. The hydrometer runs 24/7 during storms and it builds in anti-jam logic entirely remove human risk. In short, it prevents expensive flood damage creates new revenue from trash, and keep workers out of danger. Thank you.